We all know World Eaters have a ton of auto-include units, but today, on Ops, episode 45, we're going to talk about the top 5 World Eater units you need to be using as well. These awesome units just make you feel great, make you feel like you need more of them, and we're going to break it down here today. So stay tuned and locked in. And number 5. So coming in at number 5, we have the Flesh Hounds. Flesh Hounds are an amazing unit. They have the ability to upbeat Downy and is great for your army to allow you to play the missions a lot better. These units can only be used in the Daemonkin detachment, so be cognizant of that if you want to make sure you can use Flesh Hounds for a very, very low price of 75 points for 5 models. With 2 wounds each and a 12-inch movement, you will have to use it in the Demonkin detachment. It's an absolute amazing detachment. You get to use Scarbrand or Bloodthirsters, Blood Crushers, things like that. But Flesh Hounds are really good. They're one of the best units, and this is why it's at number 5. And now, number 4. And at number 4, we have the Bloodletters. What makes the Bloodletters absolutely amazing is the Summoned by Slaughter stratagem. This allows them to actually come in the game and really break the mechanics of how the game works, right? And positioning allows you to position, hold objective markers, make sure you retain to control objective markers, or charge after you've done an Impact Mortals charge, right? So you can fight in the fight phase. It gives you a multitude of abilities, really changes the game state and enhances your ability to win. These units only allowed in Demonkin, just like the Flesh Hounds as well, and are also very cheap at 90 points for 10 models. So not super amazing. They only have 2 attacks unless you have Scarbrand, which gives them an additional attack, but they have the ability to just take up real estate, flood up the board, right? And really enhance, once again, your ability to win the game. And now to number 3. So here's another one that could potentially be contentious. A lot of people have been saying that Eightbound are no longer viable, don't want to use them. Yeah, as you can see, the Eightbound himself is speaking up and saying, GW, lower our points. They do definitely need a points drop. They are not resilient whatsoever, so once they take a bullet in return, they will disappear. Life becomes very challenging once you start, just standing in front of a whole bunch of bolters and get shot by 5 intercessors with 20 shots. So they're really great in almost all detachments. We just talked about their cons. We're going to talk about their pros as well. You really feel their utility in Demonkin, Slaughterband, and Berserker Warband. Absolutely. I think everything is absolutely amazing in Berserker Warband. Really enhances just every single unit with that +2 strength and +1 attack. Great stratagems as well. As we were mentioning, they die very quickly, so you must use them wisely and destroy everything in their proximity. That way you just don't get shot back in return. You want to make sure you're as efficient in positioning and in everything that you do throughout the game where you're using them. That's why a lot of people are going to see them as a challenge and not want to actually take them, because usually people want to take the path of least resistance, which is taking a unit that's just auto-include, unga bunga, gets out there as fast as possible, or whatever needs to be done to appease that individual. But use them wisely, and they are very good. And in 3 detachments, they really shine. Like we talked about, the Demonkin, Slaughterband, and Berzerker Warband. Demonkin, they really have the ability to Get that Lance and Twin Link. So getting that off of one of these units. Hopefully you're taking a big pack of 6 of them, and you can proc that stratagem off, which makes them immensely better. Also in Slaughter Band allows them to have a plethora of abilities where they can go to flat 3 damage. They can be -1 to wound in shooting and or in melee. Those are things that are all 2 CP. They could fight on death as well with no rolls, 2 CP. A lot of great abilities and a lot of these detachments. So use them wisely and make sure to destroy as many units as you can. And now we have number 2. And of course, one of the most amazing feeling pieces in the game right now for World Leaders is the Hellbrute. First of all, they're absolutely stupid cheap at 120 points. Hopefully, they continue to stay there. They're not resilient whatsoever. They die very quickly. Probably where Eightbound should be, roughly about 120, 130. Exalted Eightbound, probably 140, 135, right? But 2 words: Power Scourge, 26 attacks if you fight twice. Specifically in the Berserker Warband, that is an absolute astronomical amount of attacks. It feels absolutely amazing, especially when they're Strength 9, AP 1, 2 damage in Berserker Warband. You can go up to AP 2, so 9, 2, 2 at 26 attacks if you get to fight first. If you have 2 or 3 of these, right, that's just a crazy amount of attacks. You get 78 attacks between the 3 of them. So whatever you're going to hit front line is just going to dissipate. Easy to pick off and misplay because they don't move through terrain like we talked about previously. Obviously, in Gore Track, they can potentially be a little bit better. I know also in the Challenger cards as well, in the new Match Play 2025-2026, it's going to allow you to do the Kool-Aid Man as well if you're allowed to use that in your local area for events. I don't know currently if we're going to allow it on our end and if I'm going to allow it at my events, but that is going to be one possible way for you to easily get it in any single detachment just by Challenger card. But obviously, you have a 1 in 9 chance in a deck that you're sharing with your opponent. So probably slims it down even more. Die quickly, but you must use them wisely and destroy everything in their proximity, just like Eightbound, right? They hit like a ton of bricks. Eightbound hits like a ton of bricks. 18 attacks for Eightbound, 26 attacks for these, right? If you're using the Power Scourge, if you're using the Fist, right? You still get a ton of attacks, 18 attacks fighting twice at 3 damage flat, right? So make sure to use them wisely, position them behind walls, position them behind footprints, things like that, where you have the ability to get out there and do what you need to do with them. And now, number 1. And everyone should have seen this one coming. The Spawn is the absolute best unit in the World Eaters Codex. Matter of fact, every single game that I've played, I use 2 units of 2, so I use 4 of them. And I feel like I just need to drop something else to get 2 more. I always feel like I need more of these units. They feel great. They do just about everything. They are the backbone of your army. Still one of the best units in the game. They won up a little bit in points. Feel No Pain got a little bit worse for World Eaters, but with 2d6 plus 10 attacks on the charge for the unit in Berserker Warband, you're talking about a ton of attacks that's really going to push in your enemy's face and just cave them in, right? They're action junkies that just do all the dirty work, like I was mentioning before. They're really the backbone. They really do everything that needs to be done in your army, and that's why I love them. And if they're killed, right, use the blood offering strat in Berserker Warband, and you can hold and sticky that objective. They have great movement and advance in charge as well. Can be super resilient with 4 wounds and a 5-up feel no pain. And they shine in every single detachment. There's no detachment that you don't think that you don't need them in, right? I've seen people maybe in Daemonkin they don't use them, but they're still amazing in everything that you use them in. So take one. And I know for those of you who were thinking, right, why haven't these other units been mentioned as well? Well, these units right here, honorable mentions, they're auto includes. They really don't need to be mentioned, but this is just about everything else that you're taking in your army. Demon Prince, Scarbrand, Forge Fiends, the Slaughterbound, Jackals, Mauler Fiends, Berzerkers, and Khorne. Right? These are just all auto include units that you're most likely taking every single time. A lot of people are usually not taking Flesh Hounds or Bloodletters or Eightbound or Hellbrutes or Spawns, right? A lot of people are just running around maybe with the old Angron list, no Scarbrand, no Demon Princes, no Forge Fiends, right? And maybe just Exalted Eightbound. This is just a new way, different ways, and most effective units, I think, in my opinion, to play the World Eaters. Thank you so much to everyone who participated and watched to the very end. Hopefully, you enjoyed everything we talked about today. And when I drop down the top 5 World Eaters units that you need to be using, let me know in the comment section if I missed a unit or two, right? I know I gave some recommendations or some honorable mentions at the end, but let me know what you've been using and been very efficient for you and your army. Thank you so much to everyone. As always, Onslaught Gaming 40K, where victory is just a strategy away. And most importantly, burn, maim, kill, blood for the blood god. Ah!